What's up, y'all? Hope y'all are having an amazing Tuesday. Wanted to tap in here with y'all today. To be honest with y'all, I like this 12 o'clock crew. It gives people enough time that needs to go on lunch to go on lunch. I typically stay on for probably about an hour or two, so I can kind of rotate through a few people. Um, I appreciate you. Shout out to all the platforms that are joining me today. I'm gonna start doing your credit score went up by 17 points. Congratulations, family. That's what's up. Shout out to that for doing the work. But I'm gonna try to start, doing more lives in my office. I'm still it's still a work in progress for the most part. I gotta put some other stuff together because this office is pretty big. So I got some other stuff I'm putting together real quick. Got some cameras about to get ready to go up, and we about to do a whole little production because I said it just seemed like the right thing to do. I mean, I think for the last 57 weeks, um, I've been doing lives, and I few people that I chat with often has told me like, man, look, you getting on there, you're giving the people the free information anyway. Don't stop giving them the free information. What's up, family? But start streaming it. You're doing it anyway. It's not a lot of editing that you need to do. It's just go live and do what you normally do and post it. So I'm gonna keep on making that happen. I'm making it happen. It just is what it is. Shout out to y'all though, for real. Though. I appreciate y'all for sure. Um, I'm on 6 different platforms right now, and I'm trying to work through everything else that I need to do. Um, and I'm thinking, I'm thinking of trying to figure out how to get all these platforms on one because it becomes a little bit of a hassle. Got a phone here, got a phone there, got phones here, and it's just too much, y'all. So um, the team that I've hired to assist me with the whole skit process stuff, showing this stuff out, is pretty interesting. So we're trying to knock that out too. But nevertheless, I digress. Um, for those of you that are in here, this is your first time here, welcome. I go by Zabo103. I get on these live platforms and I give out information that people normally pay for free. So typically, when I'm starting to do things or when I've completed something, I'll get on these lives and I'll just talk about it. It's a good experience for you all, and it's a good experience for me because a lot of times when I'm sharing these different things that I've done, most people like, man, I ain't know you can do that, or man, I know you can do that, but there's a better way to do it, and then they explain the better way, and I'm like, all right, let me look into it. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win situation for all of us. And plus, I enjoy doing it. I ain't gonna front. I enjoy getting on here doing it. I can't even front. Seeing people say things to me like how the last young man just said, "Hey man, I did the thing with LexisNexis and I watched my credit score go up." Um, it's super dope, y'all. That's dope. Like for real, for real. Um, yeah, I'm on StreamYard right now. Um, the only thing is the what is it? The RTMP codes that you need for like TikTok and Instagram. It's so clunky right now, which is pretty interesting. But I think I figured out a way with the cameras in order to get all the phones in, all the cameras in into one. So that's gonna be it's gonna be pretty interesting how this all gonna play out. But more to come on that. For those that are going to tap in with me tomorrow at 11 a.m., I'm going to head up to the livestock auction. I'm going to attempt to go live out there. Um, the gentleman that invited me to the livestock auction, um, they they told me that the reception is not that great out there for the most part. It's not like the livestock auction is the one that I saw where it's in a building and they got internet and all this other stuff. Um, it's outside, so that's gonna be a little bit interesting. So he said you may be able to stream, but just kind of see what you can do. The one thing I did see, and I will show the results of the livestock auction um, tomorrow afternoon or maybe the next day once they upload it on what the actual cattle was sold for, because I think that's pretty interesting too. Um, I know the one that they had on, I want to say that was this past Friday. They had cattle going for like 900-pound cattle for like $200. It was insane, yeah. It was super insane. I was like, man, like you can really get a lot of stuff. So they're gonna have tomorrow. They're gonna have goat, and they're gonna have cows up there. A lot of cattle, basically. So that should be pretty interesting. It looks like the way it's set up is by lots. So they have like 25 different lots where they're gonna bring the cattle in at or bring the goat in at for the most part, and you're gonna be able to bid on those different lots. So they just big old fields. It's pretty interesting, y'all. It is pretty interesting. And I'm like, it's gonna be a new experience for me. I ain't never experienced before, so I'm super excited about it. Let me just say that. The next thing I will say, property number 29. I know a lot of people still asking me about property number 29. Yeah, I can do that for you, KT. But property 29, we just waiting on for the team that's supposed to come out um, to start doing the work to put all the stuff in they need to put in. One of the things that we got tagged with from the health department, which I don't think it's a big deal, but people are telling me it is a big deal. We have to have a soil scientist come out after the actual septic tanks and the drains are in, so they can tell us exactly the type of soil that we're gonna need to use. For right now, they're telling me it's some type of 33C or 33T soil, which is probably on the more expensive end for soil that we gotta fill up that area with. Um, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. But right now we're just waiting on the people that's actually going to put in the drains, septic tank to actually go out and actually do the work. That's the only thing that we're waiting on at this point. So shout out to that. I'll keep y'all posted on that as soon as that get completed. Hopefully they give me a day they can go out and I can meet them out there and go live while they're actually doing the work, because I think that'll be pretty cool to see. Other than that, y'all, we just trying to rock and roll, man. 2024, we off to a good start, and we trying to make things happen the way we make things happen. He just got a promotion from Duke's Hospital. He went for GM and vice president last week. Shout out to that. Congrats. Congrats to him. Shout out to that for sure. But look, y'all, I wanted to get in here and obviously give y'all those updates because it just seemed like the right thing to do. But number two, I've been getting a few DMs. I'm not even gonna call them a lot of DMs right now, but I've been getting a few DMs in regards to people still just, I don't know, afraid. Yeah, probably 29 about that. But people are just still afraid, and I don't really know a lot of ways to get you out of fear. other than you just have to do it, really. I mean, it sucks, right? Because it's like people have told you your whole life how much potential you got. But the reality of it is your potential don't mean nothing if you don't do nothing with it. It just is what it is. So, I guess the best way I can, help in regards to trying to get you out of fear, what's up, is simply to say to you that you're gonna leave this planet. It's guaranteed. You ain't here forever. You 100% ain't here forever. I promise you, you're not. So, being that you're not here forever, here's what I want you to understand. The longer you procrastinate with actually taking steps, the harder it's actually going to be. Like I never knew, I never understood that when I was told that years ago when it came to procrastination. It's like the longer it takes for you to do something, the harder it is. Because you didn't built up so many different things to psych yourself out that it don't even make no sense. So if you're one of those people that are in fear, I mean, you leaving this planet. Do you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish before you leave this planet? That's the question. Are the people that you say you care about and love the most worth you actually taking the risk? That's just what it is. So, uh, other than that, if you're gonna stay in fear, hey, stay in fear. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody don't care if you get out of your fear. Nobody cares you make it. It don't not. It just don't matter. It don't matter at all. So you got to make that life decision for yourself and just deal with it the best way you can. I don't believe in fear. It's not that deep. If you're scared, go to church. Like it is what it is. Um, the other thing is due to your age. No, I don't think your age really got much to do with it. Um, Ice Cube, that's funny. The other thing, I think KT was asking me about LexisNexis. I'm gonna run through that real quick, and then we'll dive into what we need to dive into today. But for KT and anybody else, LexisNexis is a company that houses all your information. Being that LexisNexis is a company that houses all your information, um, you can reach out to LexisNexis and ask them to freeze your Clue Report CLUE and your personal file. Once they've frozen your Clue Report and your personal file, you're gonna ask them. They're gonna tell you you can unfreeze and freeze it at any time, right? And they're gonna send you out a PIN number, right? And once they send you out that PIN number, for the most part, and you don't have to wait on the PIN number, you can start disputing the stuff off your credit. So you can reach out to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian and start disputing. They have 30 days to verify your information. Once you have disputed it, they're going to reach out to LexisNexis to verify your information. Being that your Clue Report and your personal file is frozen, nothing's coming back. And we all know what happens when nothing comes back. It's coming off your credit. It's really that simple. A lot of people have a lot of different other companies that they say you should use as well. I've never personally used those companies before. So it is what it is. But I haven't used my personal credit in 8 years too. So there's that, right? There are people on the live that have done this process and they've started to see that their credit score have went up. There are other companies that are out there that I've heard about. I just never used them before. So hopefully that's helpful to you. If you do get any pushback or anything like that, where these creditors, the credit bureaus are saying that they verified information, you can reach out to the CFPB. C as in cat, F as in Frank, P as in Paul, B as in boy. Actually, you can just go online and do that one, the CFPB. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go down and click on where it says start a complaint. And when you submit a complaint, you're going to let them know that, hey, look, I asked them to verify this information and they didn't verify. They got 15 days to show the CFPB proof that they verified the information, which they not going to have no proof. And that information is free too. So there's that, right? So hopefully that helps. But let's dive into it, y'all. Let's dive into it. What's up, family? Let's dive into it. Today, I want to really speak from the perspective of working your 9 to 5. A lot of times when you hear me speaking about, you hear me talk about getting out of your rat race, working for your last name, not your first. You'll hear me either talking about taking steps how to get out of your rat race. I figure since I get so many people that talk about fear, that I need to talk about how do you navigate when you're in the workplace? Because let's face it, right? You're not quitting your job tomorrow. You're not doing that. You're not quitting your job today. And I'm not asking you to do that either. That doesn't make logical sense. So you have to learn how to operate in your business or your job like it's your business. Meaning you're going to be working for your last name and not your first, even though you're working for somebody else. It's going to take a mind shift, which may be a little bit more easier to deal with the fear of just jumping out there, because you're going to start getting the practice up front. Hopefully that makes sense. What's up, family? So here's what I mean when I say that. I worked at Bank of America for 20 years as an executive without a college degree. I'm saying that for this reason. When I started at the bank, I had everything a person could possibly have against you going into a corporate American environment. I wasn't educated. I didn't know how to articulate anything for the most part. What I spoke was barely called English. That's the truth. And I had a chip on my shoulder, just from life experience that I had been dealt with up until the time of me getting to this corporate facility. So here's the things that I had to learn very quickly when I got into corporate America. The first thing I had to learn is you can't piss off the wrong person. If you piss off the wrong person in corporate America, it can be the end of your career. In Bank of America world, or MBNA terms, they used to call it career limited moves. CLM, career limited moves. Moves that you make in corporate America, if you rub the wrong person the wrong way, you could literally kill your career. And that's the truth. No one would say that out loud in corporate America because they don't want to get hit with no lawsuits. And I get it. The other thing you have to understand is you cannot attach yourself to people at work. What's up, family? You just can't. If you start attaching yourself to people at work, what will happen is you will be known as the person that's in a clique. And depending on the perception of that clique, you're going to get labeled or tagged with that illusion, whatever it is, good, bad, indifferent, it does not matter. So fellas, if you're hanging around the cats or the managers or the leaders that are sleeping with everybody and their mama at the job, guess what the illusion is going to come across you? That you're doing the same thing. Ladies, if you are the person that's being a gossiper at the job and always in some mess, maybe it's not you that's in the mess. Maybe it's the person that you are around. So the one thing that I learned very quickly at the bank was you got to stay to yourself. You can be friendly with everybody and speak, but you only hang with yourself. When you apply for that job, you went on that interview by yourself, you got the job by yourself. When your paycheck come in, it only comes to you. So being that it only comes to you, you need to be one of one in your job with the ability to shine your light everywhere. It's a real thing, y'all. It's a real thing. The other thing you want to do is, fellas, ladies, dress the part. Now, I know that sometimes you might be at a company and you can't afford to do a lot of different things when it comes to dressing the part, but you need to dress the part. You should never get any feedback from a leader about your dress. And when I say your dress, I mean dress code policies. That should never be a reason that you have to get sent home to change your clothes on about what you wore to work. It's really that simple, y'all. These are things that are very small, but they have a huge impact on your career. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Before I was at Bank of America, I used to work at a company called MBNA. MBNA was a credit card company. And most people that had credit cards back then, it was through MBNA. A lot of people didn't know it. Today they call it card services. That's how big they are. Bank of America bought MBNA out. Bank of America dress code when we got there was business casual. What does that mean? I can wear a polo shirt, a button-down shirt with some jeans if I wanted to, as long as they didn't have no holes in it. MBNA dress code was business professional. I had to wear a suit every single day. I want you to think about this for a second. So when I started at MBNA, I didn't have a whole bunch of suits. I had a couple of button-down shirts and a couple of slacks and a couple of dress shoes. And what they did at MBNA, they gave you basically 3 weeks to start wearing suits when you very first start working. Because what they did was they made you do it because you got paid pretty well from a bonus perspective. What they did was they said to you, hey, when you get your first paycheck, go grab you a couple of suits. And every time you get paid, grab you a couple of suits. Now, back then, I was in between blessings. I could afford to grab a couple of suits. So what did I do? I started going to places like the Goodwill and give me some nice blazers. And I started going to different places, give me slacks that I could mix and match. So I might have on a pair of black slacks. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. Got a phone call. I apologize. But I have on a pair of black slacks with a gray blazer. I might have on a pair of chocolate slacks with a tan blazer. And I'm just mixing it up. Hold on a second. Hey, bro.
What's up, bro?
I'm on live right now. I'm gonna hit you back.
Okay.
My brother hit me up. I need to let the other platforms pop back up because my phone run. One of the phones run. But then my brother hit me up here in property number 29. They down to get some work done. But I would just be switching it out. So after 1 full year of doing that, I had so many suits because now I can start to afford to buy suits now. You know, the Hugo Boss suit. You know, the Calvin Klein suit, the Kenneth Cole suit. I can afford to buy suits now. Tom Ford suits. I'm talking about some expensive suits, y'all. So I had it to where going into my second year at the bank, MBNA, this is before Bank of America bought them out, I can wear a suit every day for 365 days a year and not wear the same suit. So when Bank of America bought us out, and now it's business casual, and now you can wear jeans, you can get away wearing some tennis shoes, you can get away wearing just a regular t-shirt sometimes. Here I am wearing a suit every single day. I wasn't gonna switch up my wardrobe just because they downplayed what they did. So imagine you got a person at a place where it's business casual and they're in a suit every single day. A lot of my peers that came from MBNA, they didn't adopt that same thing. They stopped wearing suits because they wanted to dress down. They wanted to feel more comfortable. But every day I'm walking around in a nice pinstripe suit or a nice 150 count suit. Think about that. So what I'm saying is that me doing that, the one thing I was known for, not hanging around nobody, always pleasant when you see them. I'm always smiling, always speaking, ain't never in no drama. Dress code ain't never an issue. And this person, he comes in every single day, 30 minutes before his shift. He's not late before he ain't late for no breaks, no lunches, no nothing. When you giving him the information on training on what he needs to be doing, he's doing it the first time around. And he's personally the top performer. What do you think happened? I got promoted. And I kept getting promoted. The college degree didn't matter because there was nobody that was going to outperform me, and I looked the part. Think about what I just said. Because some of the things that went into my promotion was, can I put him in front of my boss, and is he going to present well? Well, he looks the part. He's not really talking much, but he is nice, and his performance is through the roof. Keep in mind, I wasn't an excellent communicator. I'm still not. But he knows the business well enough to have a conversation about the business. And that's all I need him to know. And he's not afraid to ask questions. And when he asks questions, it's going to be tied into the business, and he'll be able to get insight on what he know about the business. This is the person I want to put in front of my boss. I hope y'all picking this stuff up. This is where I came up with this formula. P plus R equals A. I'm going to say it again. P plus R equals A. If you're on a job, I don't care what company it is, if you put that formula into place, you're going to win every single time. It's not going to be a person at your job going to outdo what you do. P plus R equals A. What does that mean? Performance plus relationships equal advancements. That's the truth. You don't believe me? Let me explain. If you are a top performer at your job right now and you don't know how to build relationships, everybody that need to be trained will be sitting with you every time you come in. They will be shadowing you throughout the whole entire day. You will have the blessing of training every new person come in, but you ain't ever gonna get no promotion. You're the person that's gonna be upset and say, I know more than my manager. I trained them. Why they won't give me no promotion? You don't know how to build relationships. And being that you don't know how to build relationships, that means you don't have the ability to influence people. Now, I know that ain't true 100% of the time, but this is what they think. No matter if you like it or not. So I could be wrong, but as an executive at Bank of America and walking through the program, the process I walked through, And even looking at this as I was hiring people and promoting people, I know what I look for. I knew what my boss looked for. I knew what my peers looked for. And that's the process, y'all. Let me go a little bit further. Let's say your performance ain't good, but you know how to build relationships out this world. You better start looking for another job because you're about to get performance managed out. You ever meet somebody that got the best personality in the world? They can build relationships with everybody and their mama. I'm not gonna promote you in no position to influence nobody with bad performance. I don't need you teaching nobody that. You about to get laid off, fired, terminated. It just is what it is. So you just can't do one. If you just be a relationship and don't perform, you need to be looking for another job. If you know how to perform and can't be a relationship, you probably need to be looking for another job too. Because the reality of it is, you ain't getting no promotions. But if you perform and you know how to build relationships, you're going to get the advancement. Why? Because if you know how to perform and you know how to build relationships, I need you in front of people, influencing them to do what you know how to do. This is how this stuff works, y'all. When people ask me, how did you become an executive, a band for at Bank of America without a college degree? That's how, y'all. That's how it happened. I couldn't make it up if I wanted to. This is how this stuff works. So what does that mean? Going into what we're talking about, working for your last name and not your first. It means simply this. If you sit back and you think on a job that I am self-employed, I am contracting myself out to my company, they can end the relationship, I can end the relationship. This is what I used to do. I used to tell people at the job all the time, even though I had multiple businesses going on, I used to tell them, I'm self-employed. I work for my last name, not my first. I don't work for Bank of America. I contract my services out to Bank of America. They can end the relationship or I can end the relationship. So I treated it like a business. They paid me for my services, which was pennies on a dollar, but it's what I agreed to at that time. Think about this. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. I took the time to think that way. So when decisions were being made with the company and my peers didn't understand, I understood because I understood it was just business. I also understood that it was nothing at that job that could make me upset because I could end the relationship just like they could end the relationship. So I came to work every day happy. What's my goal I got to get to today? Here's my goal. Like, here's my target for my business. I got to get to this goal. All right, I got to get to this goal so I can get these numbers because this is the result I'm trying to get. Think, y'all. Think about it for a second. When I got my first promotion, I got promoted to assistant manager. It was just a glorified, basically a glorified phone rep. You was just a level above the phone rep. I had the opportunity to share things to them to help them with their performance. When I got my next promotion up to manager, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. I still applied the process. It put me in a position with what I was doing from a mind shifting. I'm self-employed. I'm going to perform. I'm going to continue building relationships. I'm going to get the advancement. It put me in a position to where I was the person in that small business credit card department that was reporting the numbers to the streets. So when you would see the loss number for Bank of America, small business credit card, I was the person reporting numbers to the streets. The only problem with that was I was just a manager. I wasn't no executive. I can remember being on the call that we were going to be reporting the numbers to the street. And at this time, it was it was the second level down from the CEO of Bank of America. I never forget this. He said, all right, let's look at the small business credit card number, loss number. And I started, talking and rattling off the numbers, where we're going to finish and how it's going to be and what we're looking at from the loss forecast, the whole 9 yards. When I got off that call, my direct manager at that time called me in the office. And he said, hey, I'm going to need you to start giving me the script on everything that needs to be said on the call, because you're not an executive. You can't be on these calls giving these numbers. I said, okay, just look at the stuff and just do it. He said, the only problem is you're the only person in the bank that understands this stuff for small business credit card. He didn't even understand it because he was looking at the consumer side, which was way massive. Think about what I'm saying. One level up under the CEO of Bank of America told me I couldn't be on the call because I wasn't an executive, but I was the only person that understood the numbers. I got a call from that top level executive a couple of days later, and he told me, hey, I'm starting to realize that from my level, and at this time, I'm just a manager. So from my level to his level, he was a band 1. I was a band at that time 6. I want to put this in perspective. He was a band 1. I was a band 6. I'm putting this in complete perspective for you. He said, I'm realizing there's nobody else that knows this stuff better than you. So we got a decision to make. We either A, gonna have to make you an executive, or B, we got to figure out how these other people gonna have to learn this. They got to figure this out, or they can't be here. I said, I ain't got no problem with either one of them. I ain't got no problem with you making me no executive. I ain't got no problem with none of them not being here. And that's unfortunate. 6 months later, I went from being a band 6 to a band 5. It still didn't put me in the executive category. It still didn't put me in a position to be on the phone having a conversation with the lost number. It just allowed me to be on the phone call listening, so I could ping my manager the information that he needs to be sharing. Think about this for a second, y'all. A year went by. My manager kept telling me, hey, look, that role for the executive role gonna come up. You need to apply. Like, man, they ain't gonna hire me. I ain't got no college degree. These people way more articulate than me. They just apply. You'll be surprised. Not even 2 years later, my boss, I want y'all to put this in perspective. The person that was managing me became my peer. Think about what I'm sharing. I don't think they gave it to me because I was nice. I don't think they gave it to me because it was the right thing to do either. I think they gave it to me because nobody else knew. That's what I think. And then nobody want to take the time to try to figure out, because it was a complicated, outdated system that we were working on. And nobody wanted to go into a situation where they looking at, you remember back in the day when you would see those, remember windows and it would be like black and green? and you have to put in the code to make different things happen. Nobody wanted to go through that process. I grew up in that process. That's all I knew. Think, y'all. Why am I sharing this? If you're in fear at your job right now of taking that step, start working for your last name and not your first inside of your job. Think. Think about it, y'all. I think it was called thesis. I know people got different systems. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. I can't make this stuff up if I ain't want to. I really can't. So what am I saying? You are self-employed right now. You're contracting your services out right now for whatever company you're working for. That's what you're doing. And if you can realize that for just a minute, just for a second, you know how easy this stuff becomes, y'all? You know how easy it becomes just to say that I'm going to be on time for work every day. I ain't playing no games. I'm going to be focused at work and I'm going to perform. And I'm going to be happy every single day. And I'm going to keep doing that until I'm able to get up out of here. It doesn't mean you're not going to be doing everything you got to do outside of your job, but it's going to lessen the blow with the fear. That's really the key, y'all. That's the only thing that I can see that I did different than most other people that say, man, I can't figure out how to leave my job. I was able to think through the fear by actually psyching myself out in a way of saying, I'm already self-employed. I don't care now about getting terminated. What are you talking about? I just go get me another contract somewhere else. That was my mentality. They doing layoffs. I don't care about no layoff. I'm self-employed. Think about what I'm saying. You know how many times I would call payroll just to get an understanding about what's this and what's that? I would just call them just to say, hey, what is this and what is that? Now, they thought that I was just curious about how this stuff works down to the penny. I wasn't. I was trying to learn payroll. Why? Because I knew at some point I was going to hire employees. Think about that. This is what you're doing. As you're on your job is teaching you business. You got a relationship with your manager somehow, some way. Ask them ask them administrative things that they do. They probably ain't gonna be able to show you that because it's confidential, but they'll be able to give you an overview of what they kind of do. Well, there's entering timesheets. Can you talk to me about that? Right? When these people go on leave of absence, can you talk to me about that? Not that I'm going on leave of absence, but can you talk to me about that? And why do people do that? When you freeze your accrue report, yeah, it don't have nothing to do with you building your actual credit. Remember, if you go apply for credit, right, what'll happen is that company is going to send that information to the credit bureaus, not LexisNexis. LexisNexis just housing the information. As you're making payments, these companies are going to report your payments late or on time to the credit bureaus. It has nothing to do with LexisNexis. LexisNexis is just housing the information. You get it? So they'll still be able to have updates to your credit, 100%. Inquiries, the whole 9 yards. Hopefully that makes sense. So the point that I'm making here is, if you're gonna stay in fear, start practicing, y'all. going well, family. Start practicing that work. Anytime, family. Start practicing that work. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. But start practicing. And the reason why I'm saying start practicing is because you got to get out of fear before it's too late, y'all. The longer you stay in fear, the harder it is to get out because you're conditioning your brain to be in a place that's not real. And you don't want to do that, y'all. You really want to be able to sit back and say to yourself, here's a target. Here's my target for today. I'm going to practice hitting targets. Forget fear. Give yourself target and start practicing hitting targets. Think about that for a second. Start hitting targets. Why am I saying this? Because when you hit targets, it builds confidence. When we bought our very first piece of land, it was 3 acres of land. The target was to buy a piece of land. When we hit that 3 acres of land, we celebrated like it was, oh man, like it was 3,000 acres. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm gonna see if I think I still got that video of me and my wife when we bought the 3 acres. We had went and got a blanket, a picnic basket, some champagne, and sat outside on the land and had a picnic. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm dead serious. We celebrated like crazy. When we got them first 3 acres, that was the first piece of land we had ever bought. Keep in mind, we had then bought a home and did everything else. But you did the mortgage thing. But when we paid cash for those first 3 acres of land, we had a picnic on our land celebrating. Why am I saying that? No matter how small the targets are that you hit, celebrate it. The person that just popped in my line that said, hey, I did what you said with LexisNexis, and I saw my credit score go up by 17 points in 24 hours. That was a target, right? Celebrate it. Hey, I'm going to go to the land bank auction the next time they have it. Celebrate when you get there. You did it. Man, I'm going to ride around this weekend and go look at some land. Celebrate it when you do it. All this stuff is important, y'all, because you're conditioning your mind on how to hit targets. When you condition your mind on how to hit targets, you're getting rid of the fear. You get it? You're getting rid of the fear. Think about that for a second. So when I say things like, hey man, you ain't got no reason to fear, you're going to leave this planet. And if you're going to leave this planet, you don't want to leave this planet before you accomplish hitting your targets. Put the target in front of you and go hit it. Fear just disappears, y'all. You ain't ever scared no more. It ain't ever such thing as, man, I want to do this, man, but man, I don't know, man. Man, maybe this, man. You ain't talking like that no more. I still do this stuff still to this day. Last year, what did I tell y'all? I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't understand that I was going to get a sweet business move this year and this stuff would have happened like this. I said to y'all last year, at the top of the year, we're going to buy 1,000 plus acres of land. I told y'all that. In about 30 days, we'll be closing on 1,157 acres of land in Mississippi. Now it's a business move, so it's a short-term play, but it's a target that I put out there. When we hit that target in 30 days, guess what's gonna happen? We gonna celebrate. Think about it. That's how this stuff works, y'all. At the top of 2025, we're gonna start building on the 41 and a half acres of land. As soon as we break ground, boy, y'all gonna see the biggest celebration ever. Why? Because I'm still hitting targets, y'all. Tomorrow, first time ever, going to a livestock auction. Think about what I'm saying. I ain't never been to no livestock auction before in my life. I'm going to one tomorrow. It was a target. When we get there tomorrow, I'm going to celebrate. I ain't scared about, hey man, what if you get in there, man, and the people don't look like you, and man, and they start to act like this and act like that. I ain't got no fear. I ain't got no fear. Think. So while you in your rat race trying to figure all this stuff out, just start small. You're self-employed right now. You're contracting your services out to your company. You can end the relationship, they can end the relationship. It's really up to you. You control all of that. You make the decision. Your job is teaching you business. Start learning business from your job. What better place to learn business? What better place than the people that are paying you right now? Think about that, y'all. Think about that. You can't make this stuff up if you wanted to. All I'm trying to get people to understand is that you're going to come in a time in your life where you're going to get at an age where you're going to wish that you would have done these things now. And even when you get to those ages that you wish you would have done it, it still ain't too late. You still can do what you got to do. But you know how it is when you get up in age. I watch my pops. He's 73 years old, and I listen to him sometimes, and I say, I'm like, Dad, you can do this, you can do that. Dad, go get this land right here. You know how to work land better than me. You know how to turn the land. You know how to make money off of it. You know how to, you done took care of cows, horses, all this stuff. You know how to do all this stuff, man. Go get the land. Nah, man, I need to have my cash. Have your cash for what? Ain't nothing better than this cash money. I got some in the bank, but I don't mess with the bank like that. I take that cash money and put it in my pocket. Man, why would you do that? Go buy some land. You know how much more money you can make off of it? Man, I ain't. What's up, family? Think about this stuff, y'all. So don't wait till it's too late and blame it on fear. Here's what fear really is. Fear is the lack of confidence in yourself. You're not afraid something's going to happen. You're afraid that you're not going to be able to arise to the occasion that you're putting in front of yourself. And you don't want to look like a failure to people around you. That's really the truth. I ain't got no problem looking like no failure. I don't care. You know how many times y'all done seen it sometimes. Last year, how many times like, man, I didn't bid it on this property, man. We about to get this, and I'm excited about it. And I'm like, man, we got outbid it. I know how y'all people think. Judging. Man, he be talking about he getting his land, man. He always get outbid it. I don't care. I'm gonna keep on doing what I do. Because appreciate your family. Thank you, B. I'm gonna do what I do. Why? Because y'all ain't gotta live with the results. I do. It don't matter to me how many times something don't work for me. I gotta live with the results. Not y'all. That's the difference. I also understand I can do this 100 times and lose 100 times and get it right one time, and that one time will generate me $5 to $10 million. Uh-oh. I don't care nothing about keep trying and trying and trying. When I know that if it hits like I know it's gonna hit, it's a $5 to $10 million return on my time. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. So when you working these jobs, think that way, y'all. You're self-employed. You ain't got no boss. You in a partnership. You in a partnership. Think about what I'm saying. That mentality put me in a position to where me being at Bank of America for 20 years as an executive without a college degree, understanding that I was self-employed, going from generating 200 grand a year at Bank of America to leaving Bank of America generating 200 grand in a month. Think about what I'm saying. This mindset put me in that place. Why? Because I created all these targets and I just kept going and trying to hit these targets. I'm going to go and hit this target. I'm going to go hit this target. I'm going to celebrate when I hit that target. The target that I had that I'm going to leave Bank of America when I make my yearly salary, when I left the bank, within 26 days, I hit my yearly salary. I left the bank that day. Guess what I did, y'all? I celebrated. I celebrated. Think about what I just said. And I keep saying the same thing. It's not going to end even when you celebrate the big things. I'm still celebrating small things. I'm on 6 different platforms right now. I got TikTok up, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Rift, Rumble. I got all these different platforms up right now. I didn't know how to do all this stuff. When I got all this stuff hooked up today like this in my office, guess what I did? I celebrated. That's why I came on 10 minutes late. I was celebrating for 10 minutes. I can't show y'all this yet, but I'm about to do some content on the other side over here. I didn't create my own little my own little cyclorama wall in my office. Think about what I'm saying. I don't know how to do this stuff. I'm not no social media dude. I'm just a dude that get on these platforms and I use them for what they are. I use them for what they are. Because I'm not a consumer, I'm an owner. So ain't nothing off the table when you are owner. Think about this for a second. I was chopping it up this morning with my homeboy, and we were talking about, the publishing check that you can get from going live and streaming and all this other stuff. And I was telling him about ASCAP being my DistroKid. I'm like, man, look, you pay for it, but you can stream your stuff there. It's like $100 a year. I don't know. It ain't that much. You can take your lives that you're doing, upload it to ASCAP, being my DistroKid, and for all the people that want to hear your stuff, the minute they stream it, I don't care if they stream it on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it don't matter where they stream it, you get a publishing check. It ain't costing your consumers nothing. They getting it for free. Think about what I'm saying. He said, man, I ain't never think of it that way. I said, I know, because you're a consumer. I need you to be an owner. This is how this stuff works. So what am I saying? If you at your job and you can't figure out what you're doing from a business perspective, get on camera. Start talking about your life. You ain't got to get creative with content. Your life is unique enough. Just start talking about your life experiences. There's a group of people, massive group of people that want to hear your story. There's a massive group of people that want to hear your story. It just is what it is. This is the part on where the rubber meets the road. So when I sit back and I say to myself, hey, y'all, my brother just reached out to me. Y'all saw my phone ring. He in property number 29. They get some more stuff done down there until they get this drain and this septic tank thing put in within the next couple of days. And maybe that's what he calling about to tell me that they coming out. My brother ain't on social media. But I'm telling y'all my story. What are you talking about? You're putting a septic tank and some drains in. What are you doing? Oh, we building a 52-home subdivision down in South Georgia. Ain't no bank loans. What do you mean ain't no bank loans? The cheapest home in the subdivision, $430,000. Wait, what are you talking about? Yeah, we done built some properties. We done built a smaller subdivision in real life. Gosh. What's the next question after that? How did you do that? Can you explain that? Now you got an ear. Think about what I just said, y'all. Think about how this stuff just happened. When they come in and get ready to do the work for that, I'm going to show y'all how to do that. I'm going to show you how much it costs, show you the receipts, the whole 9 yards. And oh, by the way, y'all, let me say it again. At 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be live at the livestock auction. They're going to have goats and cows there, y'all. I'm going to the livestock auction, my first. Y'all come and tap in with your boy. What y'all going to do if y'all able to do it? View it, stream it. Think, y'all. You think your life ain't that amazing? It is. You do things right now in your life realistically. It is so amazing it don't make no sense. Think about what I'm saying. You work at a job right now, realistically. Your job right now that you work, the storylines that's going on at your job right now is better than The Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's better than Love and Hip Hop. It's better than, what's the other thing they be watching? Bad Girls Club. It's better than all this stuff on Tubi, Zeus. It's better than all these shows that you're watching. If somebody told the story of what actually happened at your job right now today, they'll become a billionaire overnight. Them stories are priceless. And you know them. You've experienced them. You see them. You understand it. You got a firsthand encounter on it. The new currency is not bricks. It's not crypto. It's not the dollar. The new currency is attention. Think about that. The new currency is attention. Okay. You still scared. I get it. I understand. So let me say this. You can go on social media right now, go live, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to go live at, and just get on live and cry and talk about how you were scared to take the steps. You know how many people gonna view your stuff just because you say you scared to take steps and you crying about it? You know you're gonna have thousands of people watching you talking about how scared you are to take the steps. People gonna start encourage you. Maybe you can do this, maybe you can do that, but you getting the viewership. Think, y'all. Just think. So when I get these DMs about people saying, I'm afraid, fear is what's kicking my butt, I'm saying, talk about it. When I hear people saying, man, you look like I look, man, ain't nobody gonna let you do nothing like that. My complexion holds me back from getting all this stuff accomplished. Talk about it. It's the audience for that too. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. None of this stuff is off the table. But when you think, do a little bit of research, and then take action, remember, it's the secret to everything you're trying to do in life. There are no limitations. There's zero limitations. That's the part that's scary, y'all. It's a complete falsehood. Okay, I get it. All right. The job you got, you're not around nobody. You drive an Uber. Cam up in your Uber. I remember back in my day, they used to have StreamYard is cool. They used to have this show that used to come on TV where these cab drivers would be driving people around and they would be filming them talking to the people. They would tell people you get in, hey, just so you know, I'm recording everything. Y'all remember that? Texas Care Confection. That's what I'm talking about right there. Y'all remember that, right? So what does that mean? You could be driving Uber and start filming. Put your little cams up in there. Hey, y'all, just letting you know I'm filming. Guess what else it's gonna do? It's gonna give you a level of safety too, people. Cause driving Uber ain't that safe. You know how people be in fear to drive because things happen. Put them cameras up. Hey, y'all, we film the whole time we drive. Uh-oh. Think, y'all. Ain't no shortage. But see, when you start to think like an owner, all this stuff just pop up. I ain't in none of these fields. I don't do this stuff. But I'm an owner. So it's easy for me to rattle out these things. Why? Because I'm thinking like an owner. I'm thinking like an owner. I'm not a consumer. Anything that you want to do, if you go to the root people, guess what? You're going to win. You're going to win. You just got to go to the root. My second to the oldest daughter, she done got into this thing where she wants to, and she's taking it really serious, and she's been doing good lately. She want to be a stylist and makeup artist, hair, nails, eyelashes, all this stuff, y'all. So we about to put her in a school for all this stuff, so she can start, master her craft. I don't know nothing about this stuff other than I used to sell hair back in the day through vending machines, but that's a different situation. She's like, yeah, I can go work in a shop. No, you can't. You can't go work in nobody's shop. We're gonna get you your own. We're gonna get you your shop. We'll build it out. Just get your clients and have your clients come in. We're gonna show you how to run your books and all the other stuff that you need to learn. We're gonna show you how to hire people as well. We're gonna make some stuff happen. Am I related to? I don't know the person. We're gonna get the books, we're gonna get everything situated. It is what it is. And we're gonna make these things happen. Think about that, y'all. Think about that for a second. I need her to understand she's an owner. She's not a consumer. I need her to understand that ownership is the only way. He does crypto. Maybe that probably was the guy that everybody told me, go look at this person, go look at this person. And maybe that was that person. It's possible. Oh, no. I do know who that is. Yeah, that was the person. Yeah, that's the person. I like him. He's dope. He's dope. But we're not gonna get on that crypto conversation because I think when we get on the crypto conversation, I rub people the wrong way, and I don't try to, but it just is what it is. But shout out to him though, because I've heard he's doing dope stuff. I heard he's doing dope stuff for real. But I had a question in here. We talking about getting over your fears right now. I know this is not the normal conversation that I normally have on these lives, but like I said, I just get so many DMs from people that say things like, "Hey man, I'm just scared." I'm like, "You ain't got no reason to be scared. It really ain't that deep. It just ain't." So we try to make things happen. Um, but for the person that just asked, and I don't know what platform this is. This is a different platform right here. I know this is TikTok. I'm not sure what this is. But what do I? The person asked, "What do I do?" Because I mean, that's what everybody always try to figure out. And I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try not to laugh when I say this because it's a true statement, right? What do I do for a living? I am part owner of America. That's the truth. A part owner of America. So hopefully, that gives you a little bit of insight on what I do. There is a lot of people that when they hear me say that, they're like, "Man, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "Hey, look, I'm a landowner. I'm a straight up landowner. It just is what it is. And I understand that you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. And there are a lot of people that don't understand that. And I get it because I didn't understand that. Right. So it's it becomes pretty interesting when you start to break things down from that lens because you start to realize that everything comes back to the dirt. Everything comes back to the dirt. The meal that you had today comes back to the dirt, right? That's where it came from. Somebody land, right? The clothes you got on your back, going right back to the dirt. Where did it come from? Somebody land. You going right back to the dirt too. Hopefully you caught that. I see a lot of people when we have the conversation about business or we have conversations about trust. I see a lot of people where they have their own perceived way of doing things, and I get it, right? And it ain't nothing wrong with it, but I follow a different principle than what people hear on social media. And it's mainly because I'm in proximity to a couple of people that they had wealth in their family for over 400 years. So the conversation is a little bit different coming from me. And that's not a flex, it is just the truth. I'm not speaking from a lens of, man, go out here and get this couple of $100,000 a year. Man, go out there and become a millionaire. That's not what I'm doing. It don't even make sense. When I look at things, my targets are they're a little bit different. And my target right now, I used to have some wild targets. And then when I started hitting those targets, I was like, oh man, it really went that wild. I could have really went bigger, super bigger. So right now, today, I'm trying to figure out, and I've been thinking a lot, doing a lot of research, and I'm taking action too. Hence why I'm going to the livestock auction tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out how to make $15 million a month. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's my next target. Because the reality of it is, I seen that it's doable. And I know this stuff sounds outlandish. That's why I say it out loud. because I want people to understand that even when you think you're thinking big, you're still thinking too small. Even at $15 million a month, it's still a small target, knowing what I know. And that's a scary thought. So I'm looking at things. Yeah, I'm going to try to go live tomorrow at the livestock auction. But I look at things a little bit different. I'm going to put things out in the universe, and I'm going to go make those things happen. And when I hit those targets, I'm going to celebrate. That's the new target, 15 mil a month. I ain't say 15,000. I ain't say 150,000. I ain't say 1.5. I said 15 million a month. And that sounds crazy. I'm hearing it right now. And even though I know, I'm like, man, that's a big number. I know it's still a small number, but it sounds crazy. So I'm going to do the things that I have to do that I know I got to do to hit those targets. And the difference in this situation is when I hit that target in a month and I celebrate, I'm going to go live and show you the proof. Hope you caught that. Think about what I just said. It's like when I was telling people back in the day when I was at Bank of America, man, I'm going to build me a little subdivision one day. Man, you ain't going to build no subdivision. When I started building out that subdivision, I started showing people their stuff like, oh, crap, you doing that for real? Yeah. Again, y'all, this is about hitting targets, getting rid of the fears. Think. So, for the people that are on here right now, and they are saying to themselves, I'm at my job. I get what you're saying about hitting targets. I'm trying to get out of my rat race. I got the fear thing. I can do that. The one thing you're going to have to do, and we talked about this yesterday, and I'm starting to talk about this on every single live because I want people to be practical with their thinking. This process that I'm talking about is easy, y'all. It's an easy process, but you got to be disciplined. You have to start putting your money in places that's going to give you an amazing return on your investment, or ROI, and it's going to give you an amazing return on your energy, ROE. If you put your money into 3 places, basic living expenses, the biggest whole life insurance policy you can afford, and land, you're going to win, people. There's not, and let me not be so strong when I say this. I haven't seen anything else on this planet outperform those things. In fact, I'm going to go all the way out on a limb and say this. If you decide to do something else outside of those 3 things, here's what I know to be true. Those 3 things, you coming back to it anyway. You only going to get your currency the way you get your currency just to get those 3 things. I'm going to say it again because I don't think people hear me. If you go out and do your crypto, you go out and go do your gold, you go out and figure out how to get into this crude oil business, wink, wink. You got to have a roof over your head, food in your mouth, clothes on your back, of course, water. It's all coming back to the same stuff, y'all. And the last thing, you're going to leave this planet, so you're going to want to make sure the people that you leaving behind have somewhat of a head start, right? basic living expenses, the biggest insurance policy you can afford, and land. It's all coming back to the same place, y'all. So you can go trade your time for all the money you want to trade it for. You still coming back to get those things. You just took a trip around the world to get back to the same place. So however you make your money, if you decide to put it somewhere else to make more money, that's amazing. But you got to come back to these places. I'm just the person, whenever I get my money, is going to those three places. I ain't gonna go all the way around the corner, do it. I'm gonna go straight there. It just is what it is. There are people that's gonna give you a million and one other ways, and that's okay too, as long as it's legal. But I can assure you, you coming back to those three things. I put my last 32 cents on it. You coming back to those three things. It is what it is. So for my friend back here that's trying to debate me right now, I'm not getting in no debate with you about no cryptocurrency, because you can reach into your cryptocurrency bag and pay your mortgage. You can reach in your cryptocurrency bag and pay your rent. You can reach in your cryptocurrency bag and buy groceries. You can reach in your cryptocurrency bag and pay your insurance policy. I can keep going. So I'm not going to debate with you about it, because your money is coming back to those three places. Period. I could be wrong. Some people say pepper tastes better than cucumber. Who am I? I'm just a dude on the internet talking. Just a dude on the internet talking. I don't want no smoke. You got the right idea. I'm not gonna argue with you about it, family. You won. I promise you won. Anybody else on this live? Have you ever ate your Bitcoin? Have you ever ate Ethereum? How does it taste? Does it taste like chicken? Does it taste like steak? Can you live in Bitcoin? You got to have a place to live. Come on. I mean, I could be completely wrong. Basic living expenses, the biggest insurance policy you can afford, and land. Your money coming back there regardless, people. When I say land, that's you putting a roof over your head. You do know this, right? When I say insurance policy, that's leaving something behind for the people you say you're doing it for anyway, right? Them basic living expenses gonna make sure you have your food and all this other stuff in place, right? It's all coming back to the same place, y'all. Come on now. Food, water, shelter, death benefit. Food, water, shelter, death benefit. So I don't want no smoke, family. I promise you, you won. Whatever you believe, you got it. I don't believe what you don't believe, and we're gonna agree to disagree. I'm gonna continue doing what I do. You continue doing what you do. I can tell you right now, I don't know how many hours you have spent on your computer trading, giving me the smoke right now. 3, basic living expenses, insurance policy, land. 3 things. I don't want no smoke, but just remember, I've worked 0 hours for 2024. My target that I'm hitting for 2024 is to work 0 hours this year. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going to say it again. I don't know how many hours you spend trading your crypto, But I've worked 0 hours this year, and I'm gonna work 0 hours this year. Last year I worked 57 hours. I missed the target because I had my schedule to work 60 hours, but I worked 57 hours last year. This year the target is 0. Uh-oh. Now you can do that when you ain't got no bills. I ain't got no bills. You get it? I ain't got no bills. Wowzers. All right, I gave you enough attention. How what, family? Which part of when you say how, I'm not sure what your question, you just said how. But hopefully that's helpful, y'all. I think this is where in life you got to remember there are things that we just don't know. And being that we don't know, it don't mean it don't work. There's things that I don't know that I don't even give a shot sometime, but it works, I'm sure. But there are things that you just don't know, but they work. Did you say how again? I don't. What was the question? Did I miss the question? Pepper me sugar. I don't even know how. I guess that's what you said. Pepper me sugar. When you say how, what do you mean? What was your question? Did I miss your question? How? Which part? I said a lot. Oh, how I don't pay bills? Uh, Pretty easy, right? So most people operate business, personal, trust. That's how most people operate. My homeboy, who is he's pretty big in crypto. That's what he do. He pulls out probably about 100 grand every year to kind of do what he want to do with it, and then he keeps his money in, waiting on that bull to come. And but he plays the game at a different level. Um, that's how he operates. At least that's what he told me. Business, personal, trust. And I'm like, oh, that's dope, right? But I don't operate that way. I operate in 2 states: public, private. That's it. So if it's public, it goes into business. If it's private, it goes into trust. And I'm explaining to you how I don't have bills. Hopefully it makes sense. The roof over your head is private, so it goes into trust. The roof over somebody else's head, on where you're controlling it, but it's over somebody else's head, is public, so it goes into business. You get it? Why does that go in a business if it's a roof over their head? Because they have the ability to sue you. You don't want a person in a rental property that has the ability to sue you to have access to try to tap into your trust. Now, there ain't too many judges that's going to pierce that level of that trust for the most part, but if that person got a little bit of resources, they could make that happen. And that could become a problem. So you want to keep your private and your trust, keep it private, and your business public. So what does that mean? The roof over my head right now, I'm walking around in a 7,000 square foot home. I don't own this home. One of my trusts do. So it's private. So that means that I don't have no bills. The trust got bills. You get it? The businesses got buildings and homes and all the type of things as well. I don't pay no bills there either. The business pay bills. You get it? Let me take it a step further. No, the trust don't have to be the registered agent. Not at all. But think of it this way. And don't overcomplicate it, right? Yeah. If you have money in a trust, right? If you have money in a trust, it's just a checking account with the trust name on it. You are authorized signer on that actual business trust. Hopefully you caught that. I'm a member of 9 different business. Think about that. I'm a member of 9 different businesses. So why am I saying this? And why am I saying it this way? Don't overcomplicate the process, y'all. Don't do the what about this and what about that. Here's what I want you to think about. Go get your business started. Don't worry about are you your registered agent. Don't worry about it. Make it happen. Your business is separate from you personally anyway. I know that you are the person that's the owner of the business. But if you have to go in front of any judge or anybody for whatever reason and you own a business, guess what you are? You are an employee of the business. You pay yourself a salary. Your business is separated from you, just like your business credit is separated from your personal credit. That EIN number is your social security number for your business. Don't overcomplicate this stuff, y'all. This is how Dame Dash was able to go in front of a judge and say, I only make $6,000 a year. Now we know his business generate more than that, but who cares? Can't nobody attack it unless they're attacking his business, and that'll be between them and his business. But him personally, he's only earning $6,000 a year. Think. You could. 100%. But think about how you're operating. Think about how I'm operating. Those 52 on subdivision that we building down now, the property number 29, ain't no bank loans. So when you purchase that property, you can put whatever you want to put on it. You get it? Think. Think about the process that I shared with you all about working this process for 10 years. Basic living expenses, the biggest whole life insurance policy you can afford, and land. You're doing it every year. In that 10th year, you pull your money from your policy to build your property cash. Yeah, what that means the plan is on 100%. Your name is going to show up on stuff, y'all. It's going to show up with stuff. Okay. Let me say it this way. The CEO of Bank of America is Brian Moynihan. He not the owner. He the CEO. Xavier Gibson is the president and CEO of some companies. Think about what I just said, right? The CEO and the president of some companies. Well, not of some companies, just really one. Got other people in other places and for other things. But my point, what I'm trying to make to you is simply this. Trying to get you to understand something. Your business is still separated from you, even though you work at the business and you happen to be the CEO. Don't overcomplicate it, y'all. Don't make it bigger than what it actually is. It's actually small. It's a piece of print on a paper. When you file your taxes, you're going to file your business taxes and you got your personal taxes. You still filing 2 separate taxes. I hope y'all picking this up. Okay. if you make less than $40,000 a year, you're still filing your taxes up under your LLC, right? Doing the Schedule C, right? If you make more than $40,000 a year, they're gonna make you turn to an S corp. We know that, right? Think about this. Think about that. Most people won't catch that. I don't necessarily think that Donald Trump is worried. I don't think that none of this stuff is listen. The new law came out that says you have to identify yourself, right? So how does that affect you? You're a law-abiding citizen, right? You're paying taxes, right? How does it affect you? Just curious. All the businesses that are operate within the law, nothing changed for them. How did it change? Because now they know your name? Come on, y'all. Think. These laws that were put in place, they were put in place by the people that we think is trying to run from these places. You don't think Donald Trump had a hand in that law getting passed in New York? Think. Okay, nobody hears what I'm saying. I'm just a dude on the internet talking. Here's what I'm gonna say to you. People that are quote unquote wealthy landowners, they ain't worried about none of this stuff, y'all. These are things that people that are still operating in a consumer standpoint are worried about. Owners, true owners, ain't concerned about this at all. It's not even that deep. In fact, most of the owners gonna figure out how to make it an expense so they can expense it. And that's the part that's crazy to me. They're gonna figure out how to create an expense off of the new law that came out. Think. All right, I gotta hire an extra person to take care of this for me. I ain't have to go hire nobody to take care of that for me, but I am gonna hire another person to take care of this for me. Another business expense. How much am I gonna pay that person a year? I'll pay them 70 grand a year. I ain't doing much of nothing. Expensed. You just lowered my tax bill. Come on, y'all. Think about what I'm saying. Here's where the rubber meets the road. So what am I saying, y'all? If you operate in public and in private, you don't have to stress this stuff. It just is what it is. That's the difference. So you watching on 2 platforms? Shout out to that family. But I've been on here for a while. I got to get up and call my brother back. He just hit me up about some stuff in property number 29. Said, and you can hire your children. 4 of my 6 kids already work for the company. The other 2, when they hit the age limit, they'll be employed too. 100%. Can't wait till they hit the age limit. So I can put them jokers to work. Or they lower the age limit. They need to lower the age limit. Because like when kids are old enough to start taking direction, they should be able to work. Shout out to that. Congrats on that for your son about to graduate from the Navy basic training. Shout out to that. I know you're proud about that. Shout out to that for real. A lot of people like, man, don't send your kids to the military. I'm like, that's the skill somebody in your bloodline need, along with all the benefits. Just saying. My second, no. My oldest, no. My second to the oldest son has been talking about trying to go into the Air Force. And I'm like, all right, make it happen. I won't. Hey, make it happen. You trying to send your kids off to the military? Why not? I want them to learn some stuff. You know, we got some ex-military people in my family. We need to continue breeding them. They need to know for sure. Tell them to go to Space Force. Okay, let me check out see what that is. I want to say most states. I want to say it's like 14. Once they get 14, you can kind of play around with it. I've seen some states that say even 12, but just kind of talk to your CPA for the state that you're currently in, and they'll be able to tell you what the age is. But I want to say 14 for most states. Shout out to that, man. Like, for real, for real. Oh, man, I got to. All right, my brother texts me, so I got to see what's going on out here. I'm probably going to pop back on later on tonight, probably on TikTok or something, probably in a couple of hours. So if you want to join me on TikTok, you join me at TikTok at Zabo103. For those of you that missed the whole live for the most part, the replay of the live will be uploaded in the next 10 minutes to YouTube at Zabo103. All my replays are going to start going there because I'm streaming on YouTube right now, so it's automatically going to go there. So shout out to that. So you can catch me on YouTube as well for the replays. If you missed it, make sure they told me to say, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment over there on YouTube. We need to blow that thing up. At least that's what they told me. I don't really care, y'all. Just go over there and watch it. If you missed it. Again, y'all, do your research. Research over me search. It just is what it is. And if you find when you've done your research validity to what you've heard today, apply it in your life, I promise you your future self will thank you. In the meantime, look, y'all be good. I have fun being bad. And I'll see y'all a little bit later. Peace.